and I'm here to talk to you just a little bit about adult-oriented SEO and website design. There's a lot of people in the SEO world who won't do search engine optimization for adult sites. That's probably for one of two reasons. One, just because they might not want to deal with the subject matter, and two, because adult SEO is a little more challenging. If you're trying to do some search engine optimization for your own website and are looking just for some quick tips and pointers, the best kind of way to think about this is that there's not really any difference between search engine optimization for an adult website and search engine optimization for any other website. They're the same. The differences really do come into play with regards to the links that can come into the site that are important for ranking. You're going to have them, but the types of links that you can get are a little bit more difficult. A lot of the places that we would typically look at things like content marketing spaces where we can put articles that are embedded with links aren't going to let you post adult-oriented content. So the general rule for adult SEO is to utilize as much on-site content as possible without it being against the terms that Google is looking for. You're ultimately going to want to keep the site, if it is able to have an avoidance of nudity and kind of things that are overtly against the terms of service. You want to avoid that as much as possible. So if you have something like an escort site, choosing photos for the people that are on the site, the girls that are on the site, choosing photos that are going to attract customers but aren't going to show full nudity is really what you want to do. You want to kind of hedge as much of making the site as vanilla as possible as you can without not looking like an adult site at all. It's going to be a happy medium in there where you're not going to necessarily be going against what Google's looking for, but you're also going to be able to kind of attract your customers. Getting content into the site, text-oriented content, usually posted in the blog section or in the About Us section or something like that. You're going to want to avoid a lot of the kind of triggers and phrasing that might make Google believe that the business is illegal. Here in Las Vegas, we deal with a lot of adult-oriented content, but in Nevada, we have things that are legal within certain areas of Nevada that aren't legal in other parts of the country. So if you start talking about things like escorting or prostitution, here in Nevada we were running by a different set of rules than they are elsewhere in the country. But if you're looking at Google as being the the mechanism for getting customers, you're going to have to deal with the fact that Google considers that an illegal business. So, using the word prostitution as a trigger, as a term that you're targeting, or the word escorting as a term that you're targeting on Google isn't necessarily going to get you in trouble, but overtly talking about the services in a way that make it seem as though it might be running afoul of the terms of service can get you into trouble. Another thing that's also kind of good to avoid if you're an adult service that's location-based is using the maps section. The maps in the Google My Business section are usually pretty difficult to navigate with regards to adults. So if you're trying to do SEO for an escort service, Google considers that an illegal business. If you put it into the Google My Business section and it gets flagged, you're going to have a really difficult time moving forward with your SEO efforts. It just kind of creates an impasse that's difficult to overcome. So avoiding that, avoiding pictures that are overtly showing nudity or showing things that are potentially on the verge of not being considered good content by Google. Keeping the SEO efforts text-oriented within the blogs. You can pepper it with photos, but you're going to want to really write on subjects like how how the escorting business works, or how the prostitution business works, how the adult industry works. With the realization that people aren't going to be reading that. That's really just for Google to digest. But you need to get the content in there ultimately that's going to kind of show Google that you're an authority on the subject of escorting or whatever it is that you're selling. So that that's the real trick. The real difficult time that you're going to have is getting the links from the other spaces that aren't even going to allow you to use the word escorting or prostitution. So if you go out to an article marketing site, an easy one like Medium or something like that, and you try to put articles into those those services that are going to have keywords, hot linked keywords coming back into your site. The articles don't go up. They usually will get banned or not go up at all, just because they are against the terms of that particular company. So you create you have to create as many links as you can coming in from good written content on that topic, but you have to find the spaces where you can actually do that. There's a far more limited amount of those kinds of places available than there is to other types of businesses that aren't adult oriented. So that's really the challenge, in getting adult sites to rank for key terms. It's kind of a game of moving forward with as much content as you can, always with the knowledge that you have to write that content as an authority on it, instead of trying to write it for your subject. So, or not your subject, but your customer. So, while typically people are always trying to create a sexual environment, create a sexual kind of context within their writing and to turn on the customers, you got to understand that you're not necessarily writing for your customers for this. You're writing for Google, and you have to understand the terms that Google works within in order to do that. So you can have your sections of your website that are more for customers, and then your sections of your website that are more for your clients. Separating those two, and then ultimately bringing the links back in from other spaces where you can get links to be built on that topic. That's really the key. Biggest pitfall that everybody faces with adult is linking to other adult sites. Basically getting links from porn sites. Completely against the terms of service. Google doesn't view them as being good links. It really just creates penalization kind of a situation where you're getting links from places that are ultimately hurting you. It's better to have no links whatsoever coming into a site than even a few coming in from porn sites, because once Google has recognized something as being a porn site, you're already off on a bad foot. Getting the links from a site that Google already considers bad is just going to hurt you. So you need to kind of look at it like you were doing search engine optimization for a standardized business, like any other business, to the places that you would, the ways that you would write, ways that you would write the content, and the places that you would go to get the links in from other spaces. Distill them down to the places where you're allowed to actually use these kinds of phrasings and use these kinds of subjects. Deal with that limited amount effectively, write as much as you can, and then do the on-site optimization. Just clean everything up, make it all as tight as possible, make the code as light as possible, all those kinds of good things. If you are interested in having adult SEO done for your website, like I said, a lot of SEO companies won't touch the subject just because they either find it too difficult, find it too frustrating to do, or they just don't want to touch the subject matter because they have people in their office who don't want to deal with those kinds of sites. We do. We're in Las Vegas. We do it for lots of different companies in lots of different adult-oriented spaces.